the question is, can we talk a little bit more about the composting toilet? And I know you guys have sort of a similar setup.
Like all these other ladies with me have. So it's basically a bucket and a composting biodegradable bag, and you have a separator by, it's a Swedish company, Separate. So you can separate the urine, the solids from the waste. You put solids. I forgot the other proper word, but poop is not as proper. But so not as diplomatic. But so you just put peat moss and sawdust in there, and you compost it every so often. I actually don't use it because it is illegal within my county, and we have an outdoor toilet that's with septic, so I do use that. But these other ladies definitely use it full-time basis, so they can talk more about it.
Yeah, composting, it's interesting. It makes you very intimate with your bodily processes, and it's an interesting way to live. I've done it before living tiny, and had a compost toilet that worked really well, so it really wasn't too different than in a regular house. But once you get used to a compost toilet, you feel really weird about using all that water and thinking about where it's going and all that has to happen, and it just seems really wrong. And when Colorado recently in the winter had that big storm, there was a geyser of sewage that came up in the middle of a town in Colorado, and it was just horrifying. It was like this big mushroom cloud of horribleness, and you know, that spreads disease and everything. And I thought, oh, if only that town had compost toilets, that wouldn't be happening. So you know, it's really very easy to adjust to composting your waste, and definitely separating number 1 and number 2 is the way to go, because it just works better. And you can use number 1 on your garden, because it's full of nitrogen and some other things that help. You dilute it and spread it all over your garden, and it increases your growth. Thank you.
Little assist from the side. Right, guys pee outside all the time. Right?
What about you, Ella?
I have pretty much the same system. I have a composting toilet. Mine's pretty darn basic. It doesn't actually have a separating system. The downsides to the non-separating... Oh, this part always gets weird. Downsides is that the bucket fills up a little faster, but composting is actually really great. We have a very funny way of looking at it. In our Western world, that's just not normal. You know, it's when you think about it, it makes so much more sense to have it just go back into the ground than to have water that we should really be drinking, taking it away and then going somewhere, and then they process everything out, and then here's your water again. It's like, ugh, that's really not very nice. So composting makes a lot of sense, especially when you're in a drought, as we are around here.